do you manage them? I'm sure you have met different kinds of clients, difficult ones, easy ones to work with. How do you manage your clients?
It's not been so difficult because I used to work in telecom communication for a number of years, and I worked in customer service, and that I would say has helped me manage clients. I feel that if a client pays you to do a job, no excuses. Deliver and deliver as soon as you can, and also ensure that you deliver quality. Yes, we've had challenges in the past, but nothing so big that we couldn't surmount. We will always want to please our clients. Our clients who have shot their weddings 2-3 years ago, and they will come back and say, I can't find my wedding DVD, can I have another copy? And I'm like, oh yeah, sure. And I'll send another copy to them, probably at no cost, no extra cost. So, and we try as much as possible to develop good relationship with our clients, because I feel that beyond the money they are paying you, if you develop good relationships with people, generally you tend to excel, because people will always sell you. You don't, I mean, people will fight for you even when you're not there, because it's not just so much about what you're giving them or the services you're rendering, but they just want to deal with a good personality. So I'm trying to constantly work on my own personality to ensure that I treat my clients well, and they get value for their money.
Okay, so how can you share with us on how you plan, prioritize, and organize your work?
Yes, so I mean, typically for any client that I work with, I would love to always know them, speak to them, engage them and know what their story is, know where they're coming from, how they met, let them tell me about their love story and all of that. That will be my basis of telling their story, and always tell clients to ensure that they give us enough time on that day so that we can express ourselves and capture the best moments. We run into issues of timing and all of that a lot with weddings, but we try to manage our expectations and all of that. Yes, but I mean, typically we're at a wedding as early as we can during the dress up to capture the dress up of the bride and groom. We also ensure that we don't miss the vows. We ensure that we capture it in the best light and all of that, because in the business that we do, there are no second takes. It's one take, so there are no cuts and redos and all of that. So you have to get it the first time. Even for photographers, sometimes they could cheat, because you can tell the bride and groom to kiss again and take the picture. But for video, once they say, now kiss the bride, you have to capture that shot. And if you don't capture it, it's gone. So whoever is coming into this, you have to understand that, see, it's a risky business, because if you mess up those moments, you cannot get them back. There are no second takes. So, but over the years, we've developed a working system that ensures that we don't miss any of those moments. We make sure that we capture the audio correctly and all of that, and we always nose around for the story for the day, and to ensure that, okay, yes, we're capturing those moments basically.
So what's your high point for any typical wedding event you're going to cover? What's that part you don't want to miss, from the dress up, reception, vows?
Yeah, so I mean, like I said earlier, the key moments for me are those moments you can retake. The vows, the first kiss, the first dance, the cutting of the cake, when they're dancing, and all of that. Those are moments that you don't want to miss. You have to be there, you have to be ready to capture those moments, because if you miss those moments, you're in trouble. So, and it has happened to us in the past that we probably missed some moments, and You know, we're dealt with, you know, but I mean, over the years we've developed a working template that helps us not miss those moments. For me, the part that I enjoy the most is during the dress up because I can manipulate. We can have our second takes then. We can tell the bride do this, do that. You know, pose like
You
this.
can have
You
a
know,
script for that.
exactly. You know, there's something we always do. We tell her, okay, write a letter to your husband and stuff like that. And we tell him to do the same. You know, I need to present a gift to my husband. We are ready to capture those moments and all of that. I mean, so the dress up for me is a time that I can get really creative, capture some very intimate moments and all of that. So, yeah, that part is always exciting for me. The other part I love so much is the first dance because it's a special moment, and also the portrait session with the bride and groom. You know, just capture those moments of them together. You know, and all of that. Yeah. So.
Okay, so can you share with us how rewarding this profession has been for you?
Oh yes.
As Lanre Esho?
It's very rewarding. I'm into this full time. I resigned my 8 to 5 job 2 years ago, 2016, and it's one of the best decisions that I've made. I make a living doing this now, and we've been privileged to shoot tons of weddings locally and internationally, and we're just expanding. And, we're just moving from one step to the other. We're grateful to God. God has been kind to us. It's been a privilege to shoot so many weddings. To shoot tons of weddings of several families, across the world, basically. So it's always a rewarding. It's been rewarding for me, financially, and but one of the highlights of rewards for me is when a client comes back and says, this is how I want to remember my wedding. You captured it exactly the way I want to remember my wedding. You preserve those moments the right way. Those are the moments we live for. We might not get it right all the time due to a lot of factors, maybe from us or from the client and all of that. But each time we get it right and we get those kind of feedbacks, that's the moments we live for.
Okay, so when you're not shooting weddings, what do you do?
We shoot other things. We do documentaries, we do short films, we do all kinds of other production. We even do live productions and all of that. But when we're not doing all of this, I would rather just want to be home with my family, with my 2 boys and my wife. I really would rather spend my whole day watching TV. I'm in the business of moving pictures, so I can as well just sit all day and watch TV and watch Netflix and watch YouTube and just entertain myself and at the same time learn. Yeah.
Okay, it's been a very, very interactive session. I'm sure you don't want them to leave, but we have to allow you to go and do some other stuff that he has to do. Thank you for staying with us on Allyxtalk today, and it's been Lanre Esho of Lanre Esho Films with us today, telling us about the world of cinematography, the world of events and wedding cinematography in particular, and what you need to know before you start thinking of coming into this industry. And of course, we got to meet him personally. He loves to watch movies, he loves to watch stuff on YouTube, and he's a real man too. So it was fun having Lanre Esho with us today. Thank you very much for coming on Allyxtalk, and we hope that next time we come, you would allow us into your lovely place. Thank you. And it's been Allyxtalk. I'm Dola Wakintoye. Thank you for joining us today, and we'll be right back for another interesting edition with somebody equally interesting that you would want to learn from. Thank you for staying with us. Bye.